This news update is brought to you by...
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Thursday, November the 19th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. With jobs and economic growth as its #1 priority, Prime Minister Freundel Stuart is banking on the timely execution or completion of more than $1 billion in projects to turn over the economy within the next few years. Emerging yesterday afternoon from a 6-hour project review meeting of cabinet ministers and senior public servants at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre, Prime Minister Stuart told Barbados Today he was happy that government was generally on target in the execution of the various projects. He was at pains to point out that his administration connected project implementation with growth in the economy and the generation of jobs, and therefore it was important to monitor what was happening to ensure that government achieved the objective it set for itself.
Generally speaking, I am comfortable that in the context of the constraints within which we have to operate, dealing with international financial institutions and so on, that the ministries are doing their best to get those projects the government is doing executed with the requisite dispatch and without any unnecessary impediments.
Also emerging early from the meeting was Chairman of the Infrastructure Committee of Cabinet, Dr. David Estwick, who also reported significant progress on the status of various projects under his portfolio. Dr. Estwick revealed that the major projects earmarked under his Ministry of Water Resource Management and totaling about $1.4 billion were progressing well at various stages of completion. He said he was very happy to report substantial progress regarding the 6 projects under the Barbados Water Authority. He noted that the first project, the BWA Pine Headquarters, which was completed at a cost of $65 million, will be officially opened in 10 days. He told Barbados Today the Ionics Water Mains project was also nearing completion.
Our St. Philip water augmentation program, we are bringing that to conclusion in a matter of the next 2 weeks, so that'll be a third completed project that we'll be launching. And the 4th project that is ongoing, that comes to conclusion in a matter of next month, which is the IDB Water and Sanitation Upgrade Project. Part A has been completed and Part B is now being completed, being done by Infra all around Barbados. And then we are talking about essentially just the West Coast Sewerage Project. We are now working through the Ministry of Finance to make sure that we can get that funding arranged from the Chinese government. So I'm indeed quite pleased that the management of the Barbados Water Authority and obviously the working relationship with the unions and the Ministry of Finance and other partners and other ministries have been very, very successful.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Canada's energy giant EMMANUEL Inc., Chris Huskinson, is hopeful that his company's offer to buy the outstanding shares of EMMANUEL Caribbean Inc., and that's the holding company for the Barbados Light and Power Company, would be successful. Under the terms of the offer, which were unanimously recommended by the independent ECI directors, ECI shareholders can elect to receive a cash offer of $33.30 in cash per common share, or 2.11 depository receipts representing common shares in EMMANUEL, or a combination of the cash offer and the depository receipts offer. That offer, which Huskinson describes as a good one, is open for acceptance until 3 p.m. on December 15th.
I mean, as we look at this business, we very much like investing in Barbados. We're very invested in Barbados, and we see a great future here when it comes to clean energy. And our strategy is all about clean energy. So being able to invest more in clean energy. But at the same time, the existing shareholders that we have, we wanted them to continue to have an opportunity to invest in Emera. And so what we've done is we've actually offered to exchange existing shares of this company for depository receipts in Emera. And so investors can choose. They can choose to either be paid for their shares, or they can choose to stay invested in Emera and grow with our company as a whole, which, you know, I think will give a little more diversity to people, and at the same time we'll continue to invest in Barbados. So it'll be a win-win as well. I think it's a very good offer, a very fair offer, and so usually shareholders look at fair offers and go ahead and take them up. So we're hopeful, I would say.
In sports now, a second wicket stand of 94 between Charles Sears, who made 57, and Ashlis Brown, 36, helped the St. Stephen's Primary to reach the semi-final round of the Guardian Group-sponsored National Sports Council Herman Griffith Primary School's cricket competition yesterday. Playing at Friendship St. Michael, St. Stephen's won the toss and posted 154 for 9 from their allotted 25 overs in the first quarter-final game of the competition. Now, in response, Milton Lynch Primary could only muster 93 for 7 after batting out their required overs and lost the game by 61 runs.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from our regional neighbors now, former St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Sir James Mitchell believes that the Caribbean's call for reparations is, in his words, stupid. He says while it is no secret that the practice was cruel, it was time to move on. He told the 39th United Workers' Party convention in St. Lucia that the focus should instead be on how to get financing from the industrial developed countries. Still in St. Lucia, students of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College staged a silent protest in a show of solidarity with victims of sexual assault. It comes in the wake of an increase in sexual assault cases in the country. More in this HTS News report.
President of the National Students' Council, Ajani Laborn, says students are deeply incensed over gruesome acts of sexual violence against women. The students took to the campus in silence, bearing placards depicting their abhorrence of rape. The silent protest comes after a slew of reported incidents of rape, including that of 2 teenagers on Monday, November 2nd in Reedwee Orchard. Laborn says young men must regard and treat women with respect. He is pleased with the support from students, particularly young men who joined in the protest.
The march which was held today was basically an expression of some students at the college and how they feel about the whole situation of sexual abuse in St. Lucia. And I think it's a wonderful demonstration of our own sentiments, and I think it's an initiative that we really need to applaud, that the students at this college took it on themselves to stage this march and to let people in St. Lucia know that we cannot tolerate, as students and as citizens of this country, we cannot tolerate sexual abuse to be perpetuated in this society.
On the international scene, an ISIS video released yesterday warns of an impending attack on New York. The video purports to show an explosive device being put together and a bomber zipping his jacket over a suicide belt. More in this CNN report.
Well, if this is the second U.S. city for ISIS to threaten in just the last couple of days in videos, this one shows alarming footage, and we know that this is what ISIS is very good at, creating alarmist propaganda videos. This one specific to New York. You see, and we are only using still images from that video, but you see there what appears to be or resembles an explosive device wrapped in tape. Then you see a man in the video zipping it up under his jacket. That is followed by an image of Herald Square in New York City. The implication clear that their next target is New York City. This just after a couple of days ago they threatened Washington, D.C. Now, to be clear, you look at these pictures, we don't know where ISIS shot this. There are a lot of stock images out there of locations and targets and buildings in New York City, and it appears possible that that image you see there of Herald Square is a stock image. So this could be not necessarily substantial, but we do know this. We know that ISIS has an enormous aspiration to attack the U.S. I've gotten that warning repeatedly from French security officials here this week, and certainly from U.S. officials. Of course, the question becomes capability.
And that's where we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into channel 0101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.